Hello, folks. It's your buddy Takwala. Today I'm going to distinguish between two concepts of criticism. There is objective criticism and there is any mad version of this criticism. It's called any mad version or harsh criticism. So, the objective criticism is to tell the good, the sweets of the things about the author, and the harsh criticism, on the other hand, it tells the badness, the ugly side of that version. So, both are good for the author because he knows himself, he knows that he needs to improve himself either ways, whether to be good or to strengthen his utmost to embetter his style of writing. Having here today I'm having here uh, it's a narrative. It's called The Would-Be Author. I have just completed, said Donald, the first chapter of my novel, and so we came out hot foot, as it were, so that I could read it to you. Oh God, said Larry, horrified. No, Donald, really? My critical faculties are completely dehydrated and dehydrated at 2:30 in the morning. Can't you leave it here and I will read it tomorrow? It's short, said Donald, taking no notice of Larry and producing a small sheet of paper from his pocket, but I think you will find the style interesting. Larry gave an exasperated sigh, and we all sat back and listened expectantly while Donald cleared his throat. Suddenly he began in a deep, vibrant voice. Suddenly, there he was, and then suddenly, there she was. Suddenly, and suddenly he looked at her. Suddenly, and she suddenly looked at him. Suddenly, and she suddenly opened her arms. Suddenly, and he opened his arms. Then suddenly they came together, and suddenly, he could feel the warmth of her body, and suddenly, she could feel the warmth of his mouth on hers as they suddenly fell on the couch together. It's only repetitive. So what he's about to criticize here is the way of he is repeating suddenly the adverb suddenly, abruptly. He's repeating the way in his writing, and he's right because you cannot give to someone a piece of paper to read it and he find it boring by repeating the same keywords. Sometimes the keywords are bad to the writing. Sometimes they are good because they are relevant to the writing. Sometimes they are bad to the writing because it shows the redundancy, the reluctancy of the writing. Okay, so it's good. I'm not going to continue. I'm just going to show you here a comic uh, design of how demonized are those editors who edit the books by the author. And here I have the mothers which taught to call this short story the Suddenly History or the Suddenly book. So a very interesting title, said Larry. I feel, however, that your main characters could be padded out a little bit in depth as it were before get them tangled up on the sofa. Yes, said Donald, you could well be right. Well, it's interesting, said Mother, sneezing violently. So his mother was not content about the short story. Hot foot, it means in a hurry. Dehydrated means dried up, it means weak or inconsistent. Exasperated, irritated, gulped, swallowed noisily. Transient, going straight to the point. Padded out, presented in more detail. Tangled up, mixed up. So this is how to show you how it's hard to be doing something. It's very hard to be doing something, and you need to accept criticism. So if you have criticism, I'm all big arms, so I'm going to accept it, because criticism, it's what makes someone perfect. Thank you very much.